Hey everyone, I'm Danielle with Trinity Readings. We're just going to do some really quick energy check-ins. I'm going to be putting out actual weekly readings on the 2nd of January, so this is just going to be some really quick energy check-ins for you guys until then. And I am just going to pick a zodiac sign at random, and we have Taurus. All right, so this is going to be an energy check-in for Taurus. Do I want... Yeah, okay. So let's get some oracle cards for you. See what your overall energy and guidance is. And then we'll get to your tarot. Oh, okay. So you do have becoming braver as your overall energy for the week. So, you also have this uncertainty card and this mortality card, and then you have the forget who you are card. It's almost like you feel like you've kind of just been in this fog for a really long time. Like you've been in this place, maybe if it pertains to another person, maybe you've been in a relationship with another person and it's just been so, you just haven't really, no direction in this relationship, not ever really sure where you stand with this person, not really sure where this relationship is going. If it's not a relationship, just kind of being in this place where you're just kind of, as cheesy as it sounds, it's kind of like, it's kind of like just being in this really kind of very routine type of place, routine type of lifestyle, routine relationship, routine job. You've been kind of in this routine, and it's been like this for a while. Just kind of going through the motions. Like I said, it might be a relationship, it might be just in general. But it's just like all of a sudden, like waking up, like, why am I doing this to myself? You know what I mean? Um, being in a relationship that has just been, in this very kind of monotone place, and then just kind of suddenly going, why am I dealing with this? I think the overall message is, these places that you feel in your life that there is so much instability, that there is so much uncertainty, these very kind of routine moments in your life that just seem to be kind of just taking up space and not really giving you the fulfillment that you're looking for. This is kind of asking you to look at, what can you do to start making changes for yourself? What do you want instead of this? Why are you, even kind of look at those habits that we have, that don't really, those routines that we get into that don't necessarily serve a purpose. It's just more routine, I mean, I guess smoking is kind of a bad example. But a lot of people find when they're trying to quit smoking, it's not so much the addiction, it's getting out of the routine. You know what I mean? It's getting out of that having a cigarette at a certain time every, you know what I mean? So it's almost like it's a routine that you've gotten yourself into, And it might not necessarily even be anything bad. It's just not exciting either. And so this is kind of asking you to just look at those moments, and if you have been in a relationship that has been kind of stuck in this very, uncertain type of pattern, maybe this is asking you to look at it and say, instead of waiting for things to change, make things change. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get to the tarot and see what else we have going on. Oh, okay. All right, so you have the Four of Wands, you have the Three of Cups, and you have the Lover's card. So this is, feeling this. For a lot of you, this is a very strong soulmate connection that you have. This is a very significant relationship in your life, but I think it's odd to go from the Four of Wands to the Three of Cups and then to the Lovers. It's kind of like, it's in this very kind of playful, very kind of carefree type of energy. But then there's this very intense energy. Let's see. You could be in a relationship where you feel a really strong connection to this person, but it hasn't gotten to that level. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. There is a lot of comfort in this connection, in having this very carefree attitude. To me, this, if this is a connection that you have just entered into, you both are just kind of enjoying the moments in this, but you both kind of under the surface do feel that there's a deeper connection to this. If this is somebody that you've been connected to for some time, it's like you both, either you both kind of have a restart, you're both maybe restarting this connection, both trying to get back into the swing of things, or it's just never really gotten very serious. And when it comes to making that decision to really step into this connection, there is a lot of fear in this. It could be both of you just kind of, a little bit maybe fearful of commitment. It could be that one person has a very strong fear of commitment. It could be that there's a third party situation involved, but there's definitely, like, going from the dating to the serious connection. There's definitely a blockage in that. Let's go further. And it's because somebody wants to have control. And I don't feel that's too much, and maybe it's not necessarily very negative. It's more out of a place of somebody really kind of has this perception of relationships as being almost like a trap. Feeling like if they go further that they'll kind of get sucked into it. You have the Four of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of healing. Yeah, there's a lot of healing in this connection. If this is somebody you've been connected to for a while, um, this is a very, very deep, deep bond that you have. This is a very strong connection. It's a very passionate connection. Even if you've been with this person for a long time, you know, they say in those soulmate connections and those twin flame connections, it's always like triggering healing. There's always so much healing to be done. You guys have just skimmed the surface with this, if we're being honest. Um, it's you both are doing healing though. You have the Four of Swords and you have the Hermit card. There is that healing. The Chariot card does indicate that you're on the right path with this connection. There's a need to let go of control and just kind of go with it. But I think that this is what you're dealing with in this connection. Um, it's that the perception, the way that this is being perceived. There's that need to let go of control and just kind of go with it. Just kind of enjoy the moments in the relationship, okay? And when I say let go of control, I mean not try, a lot of people, I get a lot of people, the readings are, hey, I met this person. They my soulmate? When are we going to get married? Everything is like all mapped out. You know what I mean? Um, when you do all that mapping out and it's like, I'm not going to let myself get close in this relationship if they're not going to be in my life forever. Like you're just, completely dismissing that part where you actually enjoy the relationship and get to know that person. You know what I mean? People are so fearful of somebody coming into their life and breaking their heart and wasting their time that you just kind of miss out on actually connecting with people. You know what I mean? And so when I say there's a need to let go of control, there's a need to not put so much pressure on where this connection is going and just genuinely enjoy the connection. But there's somebody in this connection that the idea of just going with the flow to one person in this connection feels like a very childish thing to do. It makes them feel like they're not being taken very seriously, and it makes them feel like it's a waste of time. The perception of taking things lightly to one person in this connection is seen as a negative thing, and the other person is kind of on the opposite end of that, you know, um, you know, feeling like you're both trying to, in some way, you both are seeing one perception of this as correct and holding so tightly onto your perception. And if there could just be that kind of merge, you know what I mean? Um, because you're both holding on to a level of control. One person really is really kind of standing firmly, not wanting this relationship to go too deep, too fast. Um, where the other person is, really guarding themselves and saying, I'm not going to open up to this until I have that depth. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's kind of, yeah, I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's see what guidance we have. Like I said, you guys are honestly on the right path with this. Whether it looks like it or not. You do have the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords and the Five of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Okay. I feel for a lot of you that this is a connection that you've had for quite some time. It might be that you guys have chosen to kind of restart this connection a little bit, or you're trying to have that new beginning, but there's new feelings being opened up in this relationship. There's a desire to really connect more on an emotional level. This could very well be a new person that you're connecting with, and they're really kind of opening up these very strong feelings in you. The important thing to remember is, this is a very beautiful soul connection. Soul connections will give you growth. They will give you that expansion. There is a level of healing that is always going to come in every single connection. The important thing to understand with the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords is this relationship, it's really asking you to get out of this traditional way of thinking. Because in some regard, it's like, again, it's like somebody is looking at taking things lightly as they're being played. They're looking at the other person as somebody who's just not taking things very seriously. But again, that's not the case. It's just that you both have a different method of doing things. You both have a different way of seeing things. You both have the same issue. You both are trying to maintain control. You're just both doing it in a different way. And I do think that on both ends there is a fear of making a mistake. If this is somebody you're reconnecting with, both of you are kind of really fearful of getting into arguments again, saying the wrong things to each other, doing the wrong things to each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. 10 of Wands, again, this is just holding on to a lot of emotional baggage. And I think that's on both ends. But you do have the 3 of Wands and the Hierophant. This is looking towards commitment. This is wanting that ultimate commitment. With the Ace of Swords and the 2 of Swords, it's kind of a message that you have to proceed forward knowing what you ultimately want, but without actually having the proof of it in your hand. Does that make sense? It's more about really trusting in the process, trusting in your guides, trusting in the feelings of this, and not having to have everything figured out and mapped out before you get there. Being comfortable with taking this more lightly, understanding that just because things are being taken very lightly, it doesn't mean that there's no connection there. You know what I mean? Again, there is a level of healing going on right now, and I do think it's for both of you. There is definitely something deeper to this connection. And I think you have the desire to experience that with this person. In all honesty, if you really embraced this kind of newness, the newness energy of it, and kind of that go with the flow, you would feel the depth of this connection on the level that you're wanting to feel it. I know that doesn't make any sense at all, but yeah. All right, we're gonna get just one more oracle card for you. Caring connections, we'll get to. Yeah. This really is, you do have a support in this connection that you want. This is a really strong bond, a really strong connection. But with this rest and rejuvenation card, again, there is kind of this need for this need for kind of, alone time for the both of you. There is, again, a lot of healing going on for the both of you. Even, I know we all hate hearing there's healing, there's cleansing, there's whatever. If you just understand what everybody has went through for 2020, healing doesn't necessarily mean heart healing, relationship healing. People have gone through a lot this year, a lot. And so people are really carrying on a level of stress that nobody else is even really aware of. So healing is not necessarily healing within this relationship, healing childhood traumas. It doesn't have to be that. It can be just, healing from all the stress that we have all dealt with this year. So again, kind of like give yourself permission to give this time to really kind of go with the flow with this. Take that time to rest. And I'm so sorry. It stayed still though. All right. Much love, guys. Have a good week. Bye-bye.